At the National Dental Network, we have the privilege to work with many dentists, dental team members, and the leading experts in dentistry throughout the United States and Canada. Today, we have the opportunity to meet with Paul Sletton. Paul is a life planning and practice transition consultant to dentists, the spouses of dentists, and to dental teams. Paul, welcome.
Thank you very much.
What brought you to the profession of dentistry?
I came to the profession naturally. I grew up in a dental family. My father was a dentist, and I have an older brother who's a dentist. And as a matter of fact, there are 4 or 5 others in the family as well, including our son marrying a dentist. But my background educationally was in business and psychology. And I began in this business in 1971 in Minneapolis, and then moved to Colorado in '74, and have been living and working with clients all over North America from that base ever since. And dentists are a group of people who are really interested, I have found, in growing and changing and doing good things for other people, and that's a natural link for me.
Well, share with us then what it is you do. What is life planning?
Life planning is a concept that really grew out of my working with dentists and spouses over the years and teams in transitions. Transitions might be something like adding an associate or selling a practice and retiring, or buying a practice, or moving to the next phase of a practice life and stage. And to notice that the people who really are effective with practice plans and practice transitions, first and foremost, have been really effective with life planning. For example, the person who retires, and who, we all know the stories about people who retire, have no purpose, have taken all their identity in their work, and 2 years after they retire, they die. And that's really sad and tragic. So the people that we've seen in 1,300 practice transitions I've been involved with, who really retire and move to that phase effectively, are people who have big plans and a great sense of adventure beyond dentistry, and they can't wait to get into that next phase. And they live long, happy, and fulfilled lives.
Well, let's say hypothetically then that I'm 43 years old, I'm a successful dentist, and I think I may want to add an associate. How would you approach my situation?
One of the first questions I'd have to ask you would be, how would the addition of an associate at this point and moment in your life fit your plans, personally and professionally? For example, have you determined where it's important for you to be 5 years from today? That's a question that I ask everyone. And the second question that ties right into that is, will the path you're on right now take you there? And if part of that being on that path means bringing another quality person in to join you and your team and serve your patients in the community, then that's a great move to be able to make. So we'd take a look at your practice's ability to even add an associate. We'd take some time to redesign your role if that's what you wanted to do, to add the associate. We'd work with your team to create a model and a profile of an ideal candidate, and then use that model to go out to the marketplace and recruit and place somebody who would really be fun to have with you in your practice to help your practice grow.
Paul, what makes you and what you do unique?
Well, I think what we really try to focus on is what makes our clients unique. Every client is different from every other, and they're as different as their personalities and values and philosophies make them. And so our first task in a new client relationship is to really try to understand what it is that makes them unique, and then to try to tailor all of the activities that we'll do together, the nitty-gritty planning and implementation, to fit exactly what works for them.
What's been exciting for you then in your career?
I think the most exciting thing is to watch people update their dreams, put some action to those dreams and some plans, and then really move forward purposefully, and to see the ripple effect, to see all the positive things that happen to the people around them. In a practice, I believe that once you make your own plans, and once you put all that together, what you really end up with is something that impacts into what we call the quadruple win. A quadruple win implies 4 of them, of course, and the first one, if you were to add the associate to your practice, would be you. You would have somebody who would enhance what you do, who would free you up to do some things, and maybe to specialize within your own practice. There would be a huge win for the dentist coming in, because that person would be in a place where they'd really be able to have a fast track to success by plugging into what you and your people have already created. There has to be a huge win for the team. because they're the people who really need to act this out, implement it, and they need to be a tremendous supporter of the person coming in and that person's success, because they benefit tremendously if this is a successful venture. And lastly, and they probably should be first, are the patients. They have to win by having increased access to service, improved care, and the ability to move on into the future. I think one of the greatest things about being involved in this business is to really get down and understand that a dental practice has a life of its own, and it's a living organism. And to understand and to have our clients understand that this is a business and a service for their own individual community that can continue to serve the team, the patients, and that community long into the future, even after they're gone. That's quite an exciting thing. We fly that all under the banner called Continuing the Legacy.
Well, Paul, of the many things that you do, what would you say you enjoy the most?
I really enjoy working with people and helping be a coach, a transition coach, to help them move on to the next important phases in their life and to see what's possible, to free them from some of the isolation they have in practicing all alone in their own practices, and to help them get in touch with what might really fulfill their dreams and aspirations. That's very exciting stuff.
Well, Paul, before we close, what is next for you? What's next for Paul Sletton?
Well, I continue to enjoy speaking all over North America at major dental meetings and study club groups and small group workshops. And the next thing on the horizon for me, Marlene, will be the creation of some product, meaning some cassette tape albums with workbooks and some videotapes that will be focusing on the things we're talking about here this morning. That's very exciting for me.
Well, I look forward to seeing it. Thank you, Paul, for being with us.
Thank you, Marlene. It's been a real pleasure.